Dobar dan, poštovane kolege. U ime organizacionog odbora želim vam dobrodošlicu na 7. naučni skup Književnost za decu u nauci i nastavi. Moje ime je Ivana Ć`irković-Miladinović, a rad koji ću vam izložiti je napisan na engleskom jeziku. Tema rada glasi Literature in the EFL Classroom, Creative Activities for Online Teaching to Young Learners. The paper will have the following content: introduction and literature review. It will give answers to the following research questions. What is the role of literature in teaching and learning English as a foreign language? What are the approaches a language teacher can use online when teaching literary texts in young learners' EFL classroom? What are the benefits of using different genres of literature in teaching English online? The paper will also provide ideas for the activities in teaching English to young learners. So teaching English to young learners and teaching overall in the 21st century is constantly confronting new pressures and tensions. Last year, 2020, was particularly demanding and different in many aspects. The ongoing global pandemic of coronavirus disease brought on stage many challenges, both in education and life as well. The educational platforms as the golden threads of the 21st century have become, for many teachers, the safest way to teach, while still posing many unsolved issues. The teacher became both agent and shapeshifter in the classroom and framed new teaching methodologies enriched with the new teaching competencies. These new teaching competencies were immediately in demand, especially in teaching young learners. It was very difficult for the first graders to immediately switch to online lessons because they were not literate. They did not learn to read and write in their mother tongue, not to mention that they were not able to perform the tasks given for the purpose of teaching English. I took into consideration the role of literature in teaching English to young learners, and Gwyn summarized the various roles by saying that literature provides learners with interesting and meaningful input in the written form, and it provides a means for meaningful output through writing and discussion. Colley and Slater said that literature is considered as valuable authentic material, cultural enrichment, language enrichment, and personal involvement. Literature gives students the broader picture of English vocabulary and the sense of language as it is spoken by the native speakers in real-life situations. It makes students familiar with various linguistic forms and expressions used by native speakers. Now that we are facing with the biggest change in educational landscape, we need to acknowledge that the idea of the 21st century learning is dated. The coronavirus pandemic has moved the predominant site of literacy from page to screen, creating a new learning and teaching surrounding, virtual surrounding. Such a surrounding has constantly demanded new ideas in order to motivate students to participate and be productive during a lesson instead to hide behind needed to be fixed cameras. One of the ideas was to use literature and corresponding videos for foreign language teaching and learning. Here in the slide, I have several approaches that are used in live teaching, but I gave suggestions on how to adapt them for online teaching. So all the details and the whole text will be given in the paper. So in order to use the literature for the benefits of learning, I took into consideration different genres and how can we adapt those literary pieces for young learners' classroom. Drama is regarded as an ideal way to teach language, whereby students are exposed to English as it is used in real conversations. There are various benefits of using drama in teaching English to young learners, in person and online as well. Drama is also interactive and visual in the virtual classroom. Students may act in turns, see each other and experience fun while doing it. Even in virtual space, students develop their communicative skills in dynamic situations. Drama relieves tension of learning linguistic patterns and provides more space for learner autonomy and boosts confidence of students to use the target language. For shy students, chat space is an option for comments or questions. So these are some of the ideas I provided in the paper. The ideas how to use kids story games. storyline online, curtain up game, kids simple costume game, simple set design tutorial, simple interactive costume page, simple tutorial in playwriting, and other ideas. Of course, short story is also one of the very useful genres in teaching English to young learners. It can be used with all ages, all knowledge levels, and can be a good source to improve students' listening, speaking, and reading skills, and expands their stock of vocabulary as well. The educational benefit of short story lies in its being easy for students to understand, can be covered in 1 or 2 lessons, grabs students' attention, promotes students' critical thinking skills, and helps them dive into native language culture. Here in this slide, I have a short video tutorial with ideas and directions for students to make a shadow theater and shadow puppets. Teacher can present it to students in online lesson. Then they can make this theater with 2 or 3 puppets and act it out at home. So let's watch a video.
Hello, I'm Jenny Ellis from Little Wing Puppets, and I'm here to show you how to make shadow puppets and your own shadow puppetry theatre. I learnt about shadow puppetry from the amazing Richard Bradshaw as part of the Jump mentoring scheme. And since then, we've been travelling all over Australia and the world, performing our shows and teaching kids to make shadow puppets. Let's get started.
This is just an introductory part of the video to give you a hint what it is about, but for the sake of time, I will go on and explain poetry as a very useful genre in teaching English to young learners. So poems and nursery rhymes are usually short in length, and one poem can be analyzed in a single classroom lesson. Many of the chosen poems have been composed, so now students are happy to listen to them for their earliest age. Using nursery rhymes in online surrounding is possible through web sources such as YouTube, for example. Children love reading and singing nursery rhymes. They also enjoy rhyming, drawing, and retelling the popular stories in their own words. Each online lesson should include step-by-step instructions and resources to guide young learners through the learning process. There are some additional examples that teachers might use for their young learners' language classroom, and I present them in the paper. But here in the slide, I mentioned some of the poems or nursery rhymes that can be used with an adaptation for young learners. For example, Hickory Dickory Dog can be used in a unit about telling time. 10 Little Monkeys can be used in a unit on numbers. The rhyme Monday's Child can be used as a supplement to teaching the days of the week. Or Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes can be used in a unit on body parts. So take any lesson topic, any literal genre, or any activity in online setting. Use either YouTube, PowerPoint, or Vimeo and create your own video lesson suitable for learners' needs. This is only one short example for the purpose of presenting the idea that could be expanded with any age group of students. So the teacher is able to create a video by choosing the background music, text in slides, and effects of item appearance. This is especially useful tool in online teaching with 3rd and 4th graders because children can use it too and make their videos for the selected poem, rhyme, story, or any grammar material. Of course, one lesson can be dedicated to explain this procedure. The next lesson could be a way for students to try out some ideas together with a teacher, and then the major task would be the students make a video in groups of 3 to 5. Here in the slide, you can see that you can design the text, choose font. Also, you can put some stickers, choose styles. I have chosen this background style with these 2 colors. You can choose music, which will be in the background format and the background style. It could be designed in different ways, or you can design the background style. So children can play with this and in the same way learn the language. One very useful activity concerned with poems and rhymes is rhyme raise game. We would need a set of cards with single words on them that do not rhyme with each other, say 10, 20 cards. Divide the class into small groups, let's say 4 students. Put a post on the board of words that appeared in the lesson and may rhyme with the words on the deck of cards. Shuffle the cards, turn the first card. Read the card out, and students need to guess where the proper place for that word is, and the teacher places it in the poster. For example, if you have these words in the poster, you will put the words that rhyme with them later on when students guess those words. For example, house, mouse, spouse, shoe, do, blue, bread, had, said, etc. With weaker students or younger students, you can do some rhyming puzzles and have fun in the lesson, but also learn in the same way. So in order to conclude this presentation, I would say that in addition to all the previously presented, it must be pointed out that the activities need to have the purpose of learning a foreign language. Their sequence need to be carefully planned by the teacher, having in mind the objectives of a lesson. Games in EFL classrooms should not be used merely for the purpose of having fun in the lesson. On the contrary, they need to be a means of learning the target language with a specific learning outcome. We may conclude on a cautionary note that understanding and teaching literature and literacy in the 21st century is a new ball game, and this paper intention was only to tackle some ideas for using literature in the foreign language classroom. There are much more to be explored, of course. These are the major references are used in the paper. The whole list of the references will be in the paper when it is published. I want to thank you for listening and for attention, and I'm looking forward to discuss this issue in the conference. Goodbye.